Somebody reached out to me 2 years ago telling me that they had been scammed with my picture. So he did a reverse Google search and found me and just wanted to let me know that my pictures were being used on WhatsApp platforms, a form of the dark web, if you might say. Divorce has a taboo attachment, it has a social stigma attached. Once you say you're divorced, people start looking at you like you're failed. You're a failed person. You failed in a very big aspect of your life. I know coming online, we're expected to kind of pawn our lives for money, fame, recognition. But yeah, I wouldn't be selling my soul in that way. I'm one of those people that if you ask me, what do you want to be? My dream is just to be happy. And I know a lot of things that can make me happy, not just one. But yeah, I want to go a long way. Hello, 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 hello. Happy New Year. If this is your first time encountering me, my name is Chika Oji, and this is my first YouTube video in a very long time. And I'm making this video as a sort of reintroduction. The video I have, my very first introduction video, has sort of expired because a lot of the things I said in that video are no longer valid. To start off will be my marriage status. So if you scroll down to my older videos, you would see me wearing a huge ring on my finger, and that is no longer the case. And I made a sort of revelation video last year, and it caused a lot of ruckus, for lack of a better word. So there was a lot of misreactions about my announcement, and I had to archive those videos. Some of the reactions that I did not expect, I had to take down the video. And so just going through my old videos that I still love and I would not be taking out because I spot a huge ring on my finger. It kind of keeps propagating the idea that I'm still married, and I think that's unfair. Unfair in the sense that in our society, I'm a Nigerian, an African. In our society, it's very, very easy for men to move on from these kind of situations. Even while they're married, it's sort of informally approved for men to cheat, have other women in their lives, have concubines, socially accepted. But for a woman to do that, that would be absurd. That would be unthinkable. So when a woman is divorced, the thing is divorce. Okay, first of all, divorce has a taboo attachment. It has a social stigma attached. Once you say you're divorced, people start looking at you like you're failed. You're a failed person. You failed in a very big aspect of your life. And that kind of mindset changes the way people perceive you. So when women get divorced, they tend to hide it, maybe until another man comes along and kind of redeems them. Well, if you're unfortunate to be redeemed early enough, so what happens to you? You're still seen as somebody that's still married, especially if you're somebody that's been hiding it for the sake of your family's reputation or your own personal reputation. You go about acting like a married woman, people having it at the back of their minds that you're married, and you sort of don't have as many opportunities to remarry unless maybe you somebody within your family match makes for you. So um per that count and many other reasons, women like me who are more public facing, who have a digital presence, who have shown up on these platforms as married with evidence to show for it, when the marriage is no longer valid, when the marriage has been nullified, the next best thing is to, I believe would be to make it also as public as you made your marriage, because people would keep thinking that you're still married because you once spotted a ring. Maybe you lost your ring, or maybe you're the kind of person that only wears their ring in the first year of marriage or the first few years of marriage, and when the marriage gets old, you're no longer wearing the ring. So yeah, I had to make that video as a form of clarification that I am no longer tied to my former partner. I'm no longer married. And maybe as a sort of coming out too, to say that I'm free to date. There's that. There's no shame in saying that. There's no shame in wanting to love and be loved. There's no shame in wanting to move on in the romantic aspect of your life. So yeah, that part of my life has wrapped up. I also, in my previous video, I was living in Accra. I currently live in Lagos, Nigeria now. So no more Accra content, no more Ghana content. However, a lot of my core video themes would still stand. I am still big on money. I was born poor. I was raised poor and I am still poor. And I keep looking for ways to raise myself out of poverty, if for nothing, even if not for myself, for the sake of my children. Uh, yeah, so I'll still be discussing a lot of money concepts, money mindsets, and happiness. I'm one of those people that if you ask me, what do you want to be? Or if you had all the means in the world, what would you be? I don't have any specific thing I want to be. I actually realized it after watching one of those videos where somebody walks up to you like, and what's your dream? What's your dream? I know what my dream was like growing up. I wanted to be a doctor. And that dream has morphed over the years. As I am now in my 30s, my dream is just to be happy. And I know a lot of things that can make me happy, not just one. But yeah, I want to go a long way. So there's that. Oh, yes, I'll talk about marriage as well. Not in the sense of giving advice, but from a place of sharing my experiences, sharing how life has been as a divorced woman. Maybe not going in depth, but generally, because when you come out online in a public space to say stuff like this, people reach out to you, people try to hold your hands in that process, they share more with you, you know, in form of solidarity. And out of the stories that I've heard, out of the stories that have been told to me, I realize that a lot of women have gone through this pain, and there are a lot more that are still going through this pain. I don't know what my content surrounding divorce and marriage would be like, but yeah, I wouldn't be going in depth in my own personal life, anyways. Yeah, I would have said motherhood, but I'm someone that's very keen on protecting my children. This is an online space. There are a lot of people with different mindsets, different reasons for being online. We don't know who is who. So I try to take my children out from the public eye. So I might discuss motherhood in a sense that's more like my experience as a person. I know coming online, we're expected to kind of pawn our lives for money, fame, recognition. But yeah, I wouldn't be selling my soul in that way. I've actually been burned by someone on the internet. So last 2 years, I had my 30th birthday and I made a very, very sexy photo shoot. I shot myself. And some of those videos I shared online in the days leading up to my birthday and after. And someone from Kenya, East Africa, took my videos, took my
Yes.
pictures, and used them on a website that was calling for young men that were looking for cougars, that were looking for sugar mummies. I don't know what about my video that was giving sugar mommy. I don't think I look that old. Maybe I look rich, but I'm poor. Anyways. But yeah, somebody reached out to me 2 years ago telling me that they'd been scammed with my picture. So he did a reverse Google search and found me and just wanted to let me know that my pictures were being used on WhatsApp platforms, a form of the dark web, if you might say. So, if anything, I'm somebody that's always known at the back of my mind that the internet can be a very crazy place, but you can know something and you still experience it and still be shocked that, oh, you thought you knew this, but there are levels to this. So, yeah, that experience kind of like Even if I had the intention to start putting up stuff about my children, maybe in bits and pieces, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. And anybody that's their cup of tea, I think they should have a rethink, because let's not even talk about the things that people can do with AI, and it gets worse from here. So yeah, not to make this video too long. This is a reintroduction of me as a person, me going forward into this new year. I've actually shared my New Year resolutions on the other platforms. You know which ones I'm talking about. Part of the resolution is to post more content. And as if by some form of divine revelation, because by post more content, I was thinking more of Instagram and TikTok to attract brands. But the thing is, we tend to do more short form because it's easy to make, it's easy to watch. YouTube is kind of like, even the editing, everything about it is a bit more inconveniencing. However, this platform is one of the best platforms for any creator that's looking to, be appreciated better for their skills. So yeah, this is me devoting more time to YouTube this year, trying to get monetized as quickly as possible. I'm a single mom. I have bills to pay, and if Google AdSense comes through for me earlier, that would be a great win for this year. So the version of my New Year resolution that was announced on Instagram is slightly different from this, but yeah, it entails making money from content this year and being accountable to my audience about it. So I'm looking forward to achieving these goals with your help. Yeah, that's that. Anticipate my upcoming videos. I have more to share. I've grown over the past 2 years. My mind has shifted. I've grown so much. I believe I have more to give the world now. Like, I can hold people's hands, and we tend to see suffering as a form of, yeah, suffering, just suffering, pointless at some point. You can't see the reason why you're suffering the way you do, but in hindsight, if you're able to, make account of your life and the points leading after the incident, you find that maybe you were meant to go through this to become the person that you are today, the person that would be this kind of person maybe for another person, even if it's one person. So this is to 2026. I'll see you in my next video.